Here with Joey Grabanski to preview the 2024 Concordia Baseball season. And as we record this, a little bit of snow on the ground, but eventually that'll go away. Wanted to go back to kind of how you made your college decision. From what I understand, Connor Watson was maybe one of the first people from Concordia that saw you play. What do you remember kind of about your recruitment and why Concordia rose to the top for you?
Yeah, so right away, the first initial text message I got from Watson was, "Hey, this is Coach Watts from Concordia." Well, my first instinct was, well, which Concordia? Because I grew up only about an hour away from a Concordia, and I thought maybe that was just what it was. But he said Nebraska, and I was always looking for somewhere kind of farther away from home. I wanted to travel, and when I came for my visit here, and first night I looked at campus and I was like, it's a pretty cool place already. I mean, lit up out front of Weller, and I think after my visit, everybody here just made me feel like I was already involved with the team, Coach GPAC and all the players. So,
Have to ask, what was your high school career like? How many home runs did you hit in high school?
So during my actual high school season, I think I only had 2. But once I got to playing Legion ball during the summer, I think the most I had in a season was 10. I don't think I had very many outside of that, so I think I only had about 15 in my 4 years of high school. So
The high school baseball is probably a little bit tough in the spring in North Dakota.
yes.
But maybe, I mean, what was that whole atmosphere like? I imagine you do kind of get used to playing in a little bit colder temperatures too.
Yeah, so in high school it was usually our scheduled start date was supposed to be end of March. If we were lucky, we got to go out west and play on some of the more fields that were more turf. But even then, there was still some snow on the field, some special rules that we put in play. But usually, we're out east, we were pushed back to middle of April, end of April, and trying to finish all the games by middle of May. I think we ended up cutting our season from 20 games to 10. So pretty used to cold weather, getting delayed, and changes like that always happen. So.
Well, it would be hard to rack up a lot of home runs if you're only playing 10 games. So, well, immediately when you get here at Concordia, you're put in the middle of the lineup right away, and you hit 17 home runs as a freshman. What did you kind of expect coming in, and how did that kind of meet what you were hoping for that early in your career?
Yeah, so coming in, I didn't really expect a whole lot. I came in, I just wanted to work as hard as I could to try and play baseball as much as possible. So I came in, I worked hard, and luckily, like Coach Dupic gives credit to every year, everybody down the line from years prior helped create what we have now. And the seniors back then, the juniors, even the sophomores, like they all helped with the process of just getting better every day and just being together as a family.
This past year, you became the program's all-time home run leader with still one more year to play. You passed guys that you've played with, like Keaton Kander and Jesse Garcia. What did that achievement mean to you?
It meant a lot, just knowing that all the hard work I've put in has shown up somewhere. Ultimately, my goal is as the same as every person and every team out there, is to win the last game of the year. And ultimately, getting to that is what's more important than any of the achievements. They're nice to have personal achievements like that, but just being together as a group and as a family and trying to win that last game of the year is always the best feeling.
But when you're at the plate, are you ever thinking home run, or is it that more of a byproduct of just a good approach, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I have to admit sometimes there's always that thing where, like, yeah, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to try and hit a home run. There's always that kind of time and place that happens, but most of them, I think 95 to 98% of them are just going up there and just kind of sticking to my approach, and going out there and just hitting pitches that I know I can hit well.
I think Coach Dupick has talked about how your plate discipline is something that he's seen grow. Just how much pride do you take in kind of being a well-rounded hitter, not just someone who hits home runs?
Yeah, so my freshman year, I struggled a lot with that with plate discipline. I think I struck out 50 times. But I think the biggest thing was when Coach Lang talked to me a lot was you don't have to do damage all the time. Just get on base, and all of my teammates will be there to back us up too. And I think that's one thing that we have really well put together is that our lineup is good from top to bottom. So being able to take the bases when I can instead of hurting the team, getting on base and helping the team is always better than not. So.
Right. Well, you and Jaden Quinn kind of went back and forth with different huge hot stretches last year, and he even hit 4 home runs in a game. What were some of your guys' conversations like when some of that was going on?
There wasn't really a whole lot during the season about this and that and all that, but prior to the season, it was actually kind of funny. We were just like, you know what? I had it the freshman year, you had the record the second year. How about we just tie for the record? And we said, we were like, how about we just go out there and have fun, see if we hit 25 home runs, let's just tie for a record. And I guess that's something we actually did. I mean, we hit more than 25, but I think throughout the season, we just kind of were pushing each other to get better, and that's all that we really cared about. We're just trying to get better, win, and ultimately win, so it's biggest to us. So.
Well, collectively as an offense, things have been pretty off the charts the last few years. I mean, is there another level you feel like you can even attain this year, or is it hopefully kind of maintaining that success?
I think ultimately our goal is always to get better. Years past, we've had continuous improvement as a culture word, and we necessarily didn't use that this year because we thought it was a little too broad. We wanted to go a little bit closer together, and I think ultimately our goal is just to keep doing what we're doing and believing in our process and just keep pushing, and when whatever outcomes happen, just follow our process and keep getting better. So.
Now, defensively, you've played mostly in left field in your Concordia career. I know you have a lot of experience at first base and other leagues and stuff too. How have you kind of prepared yourself to play, I guess, wherever they want you to be at?
Yeah, so growing up, before high school, I actually played left field pretty much from the age of 9 to 14. And then I started in high school. I kind of wanted to get away from the outfield a little bit, so I've always wanted to play first base. And so getting a chance to finally play a little bit last year too, it's just every summer they tell me that that I'm going to go play first base during the summer, get some reps in there, get prepared just in case it happens. And last year it happened a little bit, and I think every year it's just whatever happens. I'm ready to play in either position wherever they want me to play. So.
I thought we might have to talk about your bowling. I've heard you're pretty good at that too. How much do you still get to play these days?
So I try to bowl once a week if possible. I mean, if I can get in once every 2 weeks, I feel like it's just a good reset, something away from baseball that's not school related, it's not baseball related. Just kind of like getting myself disassociated and just letting emotions or whatever happen. And that's just something I grew up doing. Watched my dad when I was younger. He threw a 300, and that's when I first started wanting to bowl, and so that was always one of my big things. And I was hoping I could do it in both in college, but unfortunately it didn't happen, which I'm still okay with because I still found a great home here. So
well, we need a club bowling team or something.
That would be awesome.
Well, how many 300s have you had?
So I have one sanctioned in a league.
Okay.
I have 4 total. So I've thrown 3 during like practice or kind of just for fun. But I also have 2 800 series, which is 3 games combined. So, which is also kind of a tough feat to do for some people. So
You ever go to the local bowling alley here and just kind of show people up at Seward?
Yeah, so I joined a league my freshman year here, and I've made quite a few friends over there. I mean, they're kind of older, but they all appreciate me, and I appreciate them for welcoming me in. So.
Well, getting back to baseball quickly before we end this, you guys who are veterans got a taste of the World Series a couple years ago, and you mentioned it. You always want to try to win your last game, but do you sense that maybe that's kind of the goal again to get back there? Obviously, it's a really difficult thing to do.
Yeah, so our goal ultimately is win the GPAC outright. We want to do that with no doubt in our minds. And then from there, we want to step it up and we want to get to the regional. We want to win the regional and ultimately get to the World Series. Win the World Series would be the greatest goal, but getting back there and just living every day through our process and getting there with our teammates and having fun together is always our best feeling. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's been a good rivalry with Doane inside the conference, and the GPAC got an at-large bid to nationals. What can you say just about the way you've seen maybe the league grow and get more competitive?
Yeah, so throughout my 4 years here so far, 3 years going in my fourth, but we have seen a lot of improvement through every team. Every team gives you a challenge now, and every team will always find a way to be scrappy in some sort. And I think going out there and playing our style of baseball instead of playing down to somebody else's is always going to be our ultimate goal to success.
All right. Lastly, can I get a SCO Dogs?
SCO Dogs.